I'm Stephen Hann from Archery Supplies, and today we're going to unbox and review the new bow for 2020 from PSE, the NXT 31. I assume it's called NXT 31. Well, that's what it's got on the box. So this bow basically replaces the Evoke 31, which replaced the Evolve 31. So it's basically 31 inches axle to axle. And I suppose it's the next bow in the series. Now, this is the first one I'm unboxing. I have done some research on it, and one of my friends on Facebook who works in an archery shop said he sold 6 of them. I think it was over 2 days. He said they were really good. I saw another person on Facebook say he was about to buy a Bowtech and tried this bow, and he was converted. Now, so another person say that the speeds published on this are actually underrepresenting how fast this bow is. So I was like, okay, let's have a look. Let's see what we've got. Because originally I was like, well, this is going to be the same as before. So this is what it looks like out of the box. So PSE have got some new camos. This year. So to start off with, this basically looks like the same Evolve cam system that people are familiar with. The twin yoke here, rotating modules, so 2 screws there. You do not need a bow press to adjust this. Both screws are basically fully accessible without the use of a bow press, and all you do is you loose them off, you need a Torx, and then you rotate the modules to adjust the draw length. A being the longest, this is currently set on D. Each letter is ½ an inch. So the draw length on this bow is adjustable from 25 to 30.5. It says 329 feet per second, 6.5 inch brace height. I think the weight of this was 4.3. Now, this bow has got a knife attached to the side of it, which we'll open up. So the first thing you're going to ask is just, does this knife come with all bows? And I think the answer is no. I am pretty certain that this knife is part of a preview pack that PSE put out to dealers. And the preview pack was, I'm gonna get it wrong, but I think about 5 bows that you brought sight unseen, and you paid a set amount of money for, and then PSE gave you the pack, which is why this bow would be in this sort of kit. Now, first off, this bow's camo pattern. Look, you don't want to see this bow, you want to see this knife. So let's open up the knife first. There's going to be some people say, I've seen the knife, I've seen the knife. But for some reason, people are really keen to see knives when they first get released. Even though there's a brand new PSE there with the new camo pattern. Okay, so here's the knife. Pete Shepley signature there. And you're going to ask me, how much does this knife sell for? And I'm going to say I have no idea. I'm pretty sure they will be for sale on the PSE website. Leather sheath. Leather sheath's nice. It's quite a solid, thing. Now you probably want to see me throw this into a block of wood, which will be bringing back to my 20s when I used to throw knives for a living. I didn't really throw them for a living, I used to throw them at my parents' property. Anyway, so back to the bow. Maybe we'll throw the knife at the end. So this is a new camo, and I've got no idea what this camo is called. It's called FN, which is about as much idea as... But for me, this is a very Australian camo. It's a camo, it looks very similar to what we used to use in the Australian Army. the browns, and very suitable for the Australian climate, where you've got the browns and a little bit of green. For me, this is a pretty good camo. Now the problem with this camo, straight off the bat, it's not one of the standard camos, I don't believe, so getting matching quivers, matching bits for it are going to be more controversial, harder. But I'm pretty sure PSE would have matching quivers for this, matching stabilizers, but now it's going to be hard. Let's say you want to fit a dead center stabilizer to it, unless this camo is new for dead center for this year, it's going to be hard to get matching camo. So before you select whatever FN camo is, you probably want to check your accessories if you want to have stuff matched in. Otherwise you're going to be going for black accessories, and black would look good with this, with matching anyway. Okay, so what's changed with this bow? You've got 2 stabilizer holes, lower and just your normal position. The big change here is the rubber grip. So when I sell bows in shops, the first thing that people want to do is they want to grab them and feel what they're like. And the biggest remark made is the grip's not comfortable. And I say, look, you'll get used to it. This is how you hold the bow. And a lot of people prefer the plastic grip where it actually kind of conforms to the hand. It's not as cold. This is a rubber, it's a soft, it's a soft rubber, not a hard rubber. It reminds me very much of your Hoyt grips, on your Hoyt bows. It still encourages your grip to be in the correct angle. It's going to make your grip a little bit fatter than just without a grip, and as I understand it, you can take this off by the 2 screws and just shoot it bare straight off the riser, which we'll probably do in this review, and see which one I prefer. Okay, so you've got the multiple sight holes here, which is good. That's pretty standard on most PSEs. The limbs, now it's got the standard PSE compression limbs, but to me it looks like PSE has taken a fair bit of compression off the limbs. It looks to me that they've increased the angle here on this on the limb, because before it used to be more upright. So they've decreased the pressure on the limbs, and to me they look like shorter limbs. So I'm expecting that this bow will have less shock when I shoot it, because the limbs are shorter. It's a metal limb pocket with the wedge lock system here that pulls against the limbs. You got new graphics, which look clean. I'm not a huge fan of these. I prefer PSE replace them. They've got these little dampeners in the riser. That was pretty common. 2-piece quiver. PSE also can use this as a bow sling hole. Now I think PSE have got rid of their 2-piece quiver, so to me that was a disappointing thing. The 2019 Evoke had a caged riser, which was meant to create more stability in the riser, more strength. PSE have gone away for it with this model. I don't know how that's affected price yet, because I haven't compared the price of this bow versus the Evoke. So to me the cams look the same. This is a high let-off module, so with this you can actually fit low let-off modules or maybe fast modules as well if you want to change the feel of this bow. This would be a 90% to an 80% let-off. You can change the 80 to 90% by moving the stop forward or back. Moving it back that way increases it to 90, moving this way changes it to 80. So 4.3 pounds. What's the balance of this bow like? It's pretty good. You can see it's perfectly balanced in my hand. I think when I shoot this bow it'll kind of jump up a little bit. You'll notice the string, so within the arrow plunger hole through the center of the string is the dead center of the bow. It keeps these cams timed. Each limb is a different poundage. You'll see this one's 120, this one's 125, bottom left's 123, bottom right is 121. So the lightest limb is top left, the heaviest is top right. so that stops the limbs torquing under pressure. PSE have changed their cable guard. Now it's a basically straight rotating one from a flexi cable guard. They're still using the PSE roller system, and the cables are served. Now PSE is using the live wire string system here. This is the string system that PSE make on a computer. I've had good success with their strings, and I'll be interested to see how the arrow clips onto the string here. In one of the reviews I did, it was I thought not enough tension on the knock, so I'm going to be interested to see what that's like. So overall, I believe PSE is now using the color fusion for all these risers, and the colors they're going to do is black, tan, and they're doing about 3 types of camo. Overall, what do I think of this just as a basic look? I'm going to say the Evoke 31 last year's model, or this year's model, probably looks a more expensive bow, but to me this looks quite good. I'm actually quite comfortable with the way this looks here. I'm comfortable with the fact they've made the bow lighter. I think I'm a huge fan of 4 pounds for a hunting bow, and at 31 inches this is clearly a hunting bow. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit a sight and a whiskey biscuit and a D-loop to this bow, and we're going to come and test it and see what it feels like to shoot. So give me 5-10 minutes and we'll bolt that stuff on and have a go. So I fitted the sight, biscuit rest, and a little D-loop to the bow. So we're going to run the bow through a chronograph. The arrows I'm shooting are gold tip velocities. These weigh 327 grains per inch. 327 grains. They have a 90 grain point at the front, little pin system at the back. These are the arrows I use on all my testing to test for speeds. This bow should be 60 pounds at 29 inches. IBO on this is 329. So if this is IBO, I should be getting probably 290. So I'm going to be interested to see what it draws at. First off, we're going to try the draw cycle. Even though this is the Evolve cams, I think it's a slight variation on the Evolve cam system, so I want to just test that. So it starts off here. It's really getting quite heavy there. So it sort of starts off a little bit light. When I say a little bit light, it's not hard to start off with, and then about 5 inches in it starts to really stack on the poundage. There. Now it's starting to get the valley. Starting to drop in. Oh, and then it drops right in. Now I'm just going to try laying that down. 90% let off. Oh god. With 90% let off, when you get back, I'm going to take the shot. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. So 308. That is so incredibly fast. So let's just, I don't even understand it. 308. So the fast bows, I could be getting this wrong. I think the fast bows do 310, and this did a 308, and it's meant to be a slow bow. Now I saw there was a review done by someone, and they said this is really pumping out fast speeds. But that's incredibly fast, and like the bow just, so when I went oh wow, I took the shot, the bow didn't even move my hand. Check my hand here, it just, there, take the shot, .305. It's quiet, there's no vibration. So to me, when I saw the Evoke, I remember doing the review on the Evoke because I was, I'm going to say underwhelmed buy the Evoke compared to the Evolve. In many cases I preferred the Evolve rather than the Evoke because the Evolve was lighter, physically lighter. There was really no difference in the speed. When they produced the Evoke, they had a shiny finish on it to start with. They changed that to a matte finish. This is a matte finish. This is good. This is so dead in the hand. It's really like nothing I've shot before as far as deadness. It's like shooting a bow that does 250 feet per second. It is that dead, and like when you take that shot, that was 3 or 4. When you take the shot, you don't even realize you're taking the shot. It's just dead. So when the guy did, I saw it today on YouTube, on Facebook. The guy said, I tried all the bows in the shop and I picked this one. He said, I really wanted to buy the Bowtech SR5, I think he said, and this was just the most dead bow in the hand to shoot. And absolutely it is. And speed wise, it's not bad. I mean, for hunting, 90% let off, you can just aim this thing all day, and it's just like literally you can aim this thing all day because you're holding, like, this is a 60-pound bow, you're holding 6 pounds. So if you're aimed up at the deer, you're sitting here and you can talk away in the camera, and you know there's no pressure on you. It's going to take that shot. So I tell you, you can tell it's a fast bow because the arrow really penetrates into the target butt. I mean, that one was right up to the Fletchers. Very, very impressive. Okay, so I'm actually just a bit, I thought when I saw this bow, I thought, well, PSE have really taken a step backwards, because I thought their specs on this bow, they've really, you know, the IBO speeds of 320s, 329. It's a hard sale for me as a shop owner, because what I'm saying to the customers, as you pay more, your bows become faster. And now when I go to sell this one, I'm going to say, well, actually the bow that is $700 shoots about the same speed as this. But the way this bow feels to shoot, this bow feels really good to shoot. So my selling point on this bow will be, well, you've got the latest, you've got machine limb pockets, you've got these limbs which are shorter, they're less vibration, and I said that before I shot this bow, there's going to be less vibration with this, and there clearly is. So there's less noise, less vibration. Still have all the adjustability of the old bows. You have the ability to fit the modules to make this bow faster. Now if I wanted to shoot this in 3D or just the type of shooting I do, I'd definitely fit low let off modules because it creates more holding pressure back there for me. And I'd probably look at getting the fast modules. The fast modules would add another 8 feet per second to this, and at 8 feet per second it brings it up to being one of the fastest bows. And with a 6.5 inch brace height, this bow is going to be incredibly accurate in my opinion. It's going to aim really well on the dot. So the next part of this is we're going to move back to 18 and see how well this bow physically aims on the target and how well I shoot with it. I think I will shoot quite well with this bow because the draw cycle is smooth and it's got that bigger brace height. I tend to shoot better with bigger brace heights. They tend to be more forgiving. They tend to be a little bit more stable. So you can see there's the peak, there's the valley. I'm just going to let this thing down. God, it doesn't want to let down. Okay. It's just, I really want to show you the knock position of that arrow in the target, because this is a target I shoot at every day, literally every day, and I shoot a 60-pound bow at 29 inches, and it's a target I use from my tests. It's 2 pieces of EVA foam, and then it's stuffed in the middle with like plastics and stuff. I just want to show you the knock position. Okay, so there's the first one I shot. These are the Victory VAP. So there's the first one, and there's the second one right up there. Now I'll show you the back of the target. You can see the arrows are sticking way out the back here at 18 meters, and we're about to shoot. Now I'm not sure if the camera's working down the other end because the screen's not working. My other video camera's not working, so it is what it is. So how do I think I'm going to shoot with this bow? So it's got 6.5 inch brace height. 90% 6.5 inch brace height is good, makes my shooting more consistent, easy to shoot. However, 90% let off, I find I shake around a little bit more with it, so I'm not as steady in the shot. I don't have as much back tension in the shot, so I find my pin will probably float a little bit more than maybe with 65. Now some people shoot a lot better with 90% let off because for several reasons. If they don't shoot a lot, their muscles won't be as fatigued. If they're hunting, they can aim longer. So some people shoot better with high let off, some people shoot better with low let off. I find I'm a better shooter with less let off than high let off. I find I aim better. I'm better in wind with low let off, and I find my release is better with low let off. So how do I think? Now with 90% let off, as well as I pull back, I'm going to feel that valley kick in, so my sight pin won't be quite as consistent in the draw cycle as with a bow which is smoother, like the Focus XL, which I'm really liking at the moment. However, I think I'll shoot this pretty well, so let's see how I go. So I think I would shoot this bow better with low let off. The balance is excellent, the weight is excellent. When you get back there, it's very, very solid. So if you notice, like if you've been following my videos for a while, I've got a PSE Evolution, which is one of the first bows PSE brought out with their compression limbs. And I really haven't felt a need to change that bow because I haven't felt the other bows have been that much of an advancement on that bow, because that bow was fast, it was nice. I feel this bow is an advancement. I feel it's quieter, I feel there's less vibration with it, I feel the bow's lighter. So to me this bow feels good. And that one wasn't good, that one went in the red. So when people say to me, what's the best bow you've got in your shop, and I say, look, these are the ones to try out, I always say to one of my personal favorites is the Stealth. I'll tell you why the Stealth is one of my favorites. It's because the bow's very smooth to draw and it's very light. So for a hunter, you can add on your stabilizer, your quiver and stuff like that, and the bow's still light. I always felt the Evoke was a little bit on the heavy side for the hunter. Now there's obviously people who are okay with that, and Matthews bows are definitely on the heavier side. And lots of companies are on the heavier side. Even the carbon bow from Hoyt, the RX1, is this weight here. And so, but having shot this bow, I'm really liking it. I like the grip. Now with 90% let off, I am getting a little bit of that happening, a little bit of shake left to right. That would go with the 65% let off or the fast module. but it's very steady to aim. Like my sight pin's basically sitting in the 10. You got to watch this. I noticed it today with a customer. So they push down the arrow and then the arrow is actually not dead in the center of the whisker biscuit. And I've done that actually twice with this since I've been shooting this video just now. I'm kind of wondering whether that 8 was not in the middle of my whisker biscuit. It might have just been a bad shot. So when I assess this bow, as far as bows that I like, this bow is clearly on top because I like the draw cycle, I like the weight, I like the finish of the bow. I like the grip. I would try this bow without a grip also. But this bow is enough of an improvement for me to want to buy a new hunting bow. There's been several hunting bows I've thought about in the past from various companies. I've never really gone there because there hasn't been that much of a jump for me. As far as I haven't felt like it's that much better than my old bow. I feel like this is a step. And it's not like it's 100% better. It's not. The bow's a little bit better. I mean, the weight's better, the physical mass weight's better, the grip's better, the vibration's better, the noise is better. So there's enough things there that I like better. Let's go down and look at the group. Okay, so I'm up at the target. I don't know if I aimed at the wrong target or not. With these two, I'm not sure if those arrows were there or not beforehand. And because I don't know if my camera's working, I can't say. But this group here, this is tight. This was the one I shot in the 8. I don't know if that was the RS. It's in line. I've got 2 on this side of the target a little bit. Look, that group there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 arrows is a tight group. Then I've got 2 off to the right, a little bit low, and then this one a little bit low as well. How do I feel that is for grouping? I feel it's better than I probably would expect, because I would expect that with the 90% let off, I would have a little bit more spread than this, where these arrows here, this bunch, are really tight. This here is probably a bad shot, or it wasn't in the whisker biscuit, and these 2 are just probably from the aiming giving me that fluctuation. So I feel it's better than what I would expect. Obviously probably should have had my sights a little bit better, but look, I'm happy with that. But what this bow enables me to do is try stuff like low let off, try the difference between 90 and 80% let off, and adjust my draw length and try that sort of stuff out. So overall, my impression of the NX31, I think PSE have done the right thing. They've dropped the bow weight down. I think the smaller limbs, less deflection on the limb angles is a good thing. It's created less vibration, less noise, less shock. All a good thing. I think for me it's enough of a jump forward that you really don't, that you want to upgrade. And I say that pretty lightly. I don't say that a lot because I think it's I think the difference between models generally is minimal. I think this is enough of a step up for me to want to buy a new bow. So how does that make me feel about the other bows in the PSE lineup? The Carbon Air, I would think I would choose this bow over the Carbon Air because it is not that much heavier than the Carbon Air. The Carbon Air had a wider grip than this bow. This rubber grip to me feels pretty good. So last year I definitely would have chose the Carbon Air over the Evoke. This year I haven't shot the new Carbon Air, Carbon Stealth. I would choose this bow over the other bows. I've still got a question about the 35, how that shoots, which we haven't unboxed yet. I haven't even seen one, so that will be the next review. But overall I'm very, very happy with that bow. With the next 31, I think it looks good. I'd like to do some research and to see whether the accessories are available for that camo. But overall, very good. I'm Stephen Hann from Archery Supplies. I hope that's been helpful. But with all bows, go and test them and decide for yourself what you think is the best bow. But the next 31 would definitely be on my list to try to see if it's as good as I say it is. And I think right now it's right up there. I think it's the best hunting bow on the market with the most adjustability on the market there is. So, and I haven't checked the price point yet, so I'm guessing the price point is down. So now if the price point was too high I'd be advising against it, but I think the price point will be good, so I hope it is good, so we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. The more you shoot, the better you shoot. Thanks, bye.